I went super classic this week. I went with the Flor Dominicana.
Flor Dominicana.
Flor Dominicana. Sorry, yeah. The Reserva. I am totally blanking right now.
Okay, so
Reserva Especial. Yes,
it was the little shorter torpedo, right?
Yeah, it was a 4.5 by 52 Perfecto is what it was.
Nice.
Super cool little cigar. I didn't have a whole lot of time, so I jumped right into it. Appearance-wise, this thing is a gorgeous little cigar. It looks like a little shillelagh, actually, because it's so small.
See, you're in the St. Patrick's Day mood
right,
already.
right.
So, yep.
I mean, the label is almost the size of the cigar because it's a very small cigar, but it is it's enough cigar to get you going.
Now, LaFleur generally packs a bit of a punch.
Yeah, when you think LaFleur, you're not thinking Fisher Price, my first cigar. You're definitely in generally the full-bodied or at least medium plus as far as the strength goes. This one, the appearance on is gorgeous, dark brown wrapper. Perfecto size. I mean, construction, you can see it and you can feel it. It looks great. It was semi-smooth, some veins.
It's a good
pretty
looking
firm
cigar.
overall. Yeah. The pre-light smell, the sniff, the pre-light nose on this was all about earth and leather and coffee.
Nice.
And then the pre-light draw had little hints of mocha going on with also the earth and coffee and some pepper. The initial light on this was kind of what you expect, actually, a bit of a pepper bomb. But because it's a Perfecto and it has that just one smaller spot that you light, it didn't come across as a big, huge pepper bomb. It came as a nice, smooth, like, now you're tasting pepper.
Right.
And so once it lights, it then goes to this full size, and you start getting more of that, and then you start getting the cigar itself. The first third of this cigar was all about the coffee, the earth, some barnyard notes, and just a tiny, tiny hint of mocha on the end. The middle of this cigar. And I'm jumping right to the middle because there's a reason for this.
Well, it doesn't take you long to get to the middle.
Well, no, it's not a very big cigar, right? So, although it smokes a little bit longer than you'd think for even as small as it is, it does burn rather slow. But the middle of this cigar, it started getting more of the leather notes and a little bit of hay and a little barnyard kind of flavors that I really kind of enjoy. Like the kind of fermented hay kind of flavors, those kind of things. It's a very classic cigar. Smelling and tasting cigar. The ash on this, I didn't bother tipping the ash till I was halfway through the cigar.
And that's pretty daring for you because you generally wind
I
up
always
with
get
ash on
all
your
over
shirt.
me,
Yes.
right? Ash all over myself. And then I actually had to forcibly like tip it off in the ashtray because it was just such a solid, crazy ash.
Nice.
This thing burned pretty even. There was a little unevenness, but it took care of itself. And then burn pretty even all the way down to the end. The flavor of the cigar ramps up from the initial light, which was medium. And then you get to the full size of the cigar. So here I'm backtracking just a touch. Then you get to the full size of the cigar, and you're getting the full flavors of it. And as you get to the middle of the cigar, you pick up a little bit in strength. So by the time I got to the middle of the cigar, this was definitely a solid, full-strength cigar. Full strength flavor overall. The smoke in this cigar is huge, silky smoke. Like tiny cigar comes out with huge puffs of smoke. So the mouthfeel on the cigar and the smoke itself is really, really worth experiencing. If you're into light, sweet cigars, this is not the one for you.
Yes,
because it has a bit of spice and a little bit of pepper lingering that goes on beyond those really kind of sweeter Maduro flavors that you get, the coffee, the hints of mocha and things like that are really in there, but they're not super, like the mocha's not super up front. It's not a super sweet cigar. I smoked the cigar until it was time for me to dash out the door. So I smoked it down until it was pretty small. Of course, it was small to begin with. But I enjoyed it. Once it hit the middle of the cigar, the flavors pretty much settled in and stayed there. They didn't change that much. They didn't evolve that much to that after that point, but the strength did pick up a little bit. An absolutely fantastic cigar, and it reminds me that I need to go back and revisit some of the LFDs. I just don't smoke a whole lot of them. But I've had some of the double Corojos and those in my humidor before, and I forget how much I really enjoyed those. So I need to go back and revisit that line a little bit.
What do you think in terms of price to quality?
Well, in terms of price to quality, this was a $9 cigar. And for a cigar that's small,
yeah,
like this is literally 4.5 inches by 52, so it's not a big cigar for $9. That's a pretty steep expectation. It was worth every bit of the money.
Wow.
It was a great experience, so I give it a solid 5. I'd love to give it bigger, but it was such a small cigar. It is beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, you can get the next size up for almost the same price,
right,
but it's not the Perfecto, and the Perfectos are always a little more expensive because they're a harder roll.
You know. Yeah,
so I think that has a little bit to do with it. So I give it a solid 5. Fantastic cigar, and kudos to La Flor Dominicana.